Listen to these 4 or 5 tips that I'm about to give you, you will be able to win more points in your tennis match without hitting any better shots. So let's get started. Tip number 1 is what? You're going to start a little bit beyond the baseline. Now, you don't have to be Nadal, you don't have to be Medvedev. I don't even think this court would be able to hold them because there's grass behind this camera. But if you start a little bit behind the baseline rather than at the baseline, you will be in a better position to win. Let me explain. If I start at the baseline, this is where many players start, right? The first thing that I have to do if a person hits me a neutral ball, a decent ball, is what? I have to move back. Guys, when you're moving back, what does that mean? That means you are on defense. If you start back, my opponent hits me a neutral ball, now what? Now I can move up into it and be on offense. When you are moving forward in tennis, you're in the best position to win. When you're moving backward, the odds are against you. So tip number 1, start a little bit behind the baseline. Now, tip number 2, recover after your serve. Too many players do this, right? So they hit, and they go to hit, they hit, boom, they move up, right? And they wait here for the next ball. Again, where's the first place that I have to be? I have to move back in order to hit a neutral ball. Unless clearly my opponent's always hitting short, then start up a little bit more, right? But what I'm going to do is after I serve, I'm going to serve, then I'm going to recover back to get into a better position to hit, okay? Now, tip number 3, for your returns, okay? All you are going to do is you are going to treat your returns like an approach shot. Where players go wrong is if I'm returning on the deuce side, they wait for the ball. They wait for the ball, okay? And then they hit, they have no momentum. If you're playing a player that isn't hitting a, say, 65-mile-per-hour serve or above, I want you to, as soon as that ball bounces, you're going to hit and you're going to move up. You're going to play with spin. You're going to move forward like you are hitting an approach shot. You will be able to hit better returns. Now, the next tip, what are we going to do? I think this is tip number 4. Yes, tip number 4. All you're going to do is hit cross court. You're going to play with height and you're going to hit cross court. You're going to try to hit the ball higher than your opponent and cross court most of the time, especially when you're back in the court. Too many players, they go too low over the net. That is low percentage. When I go cross court, that is the most distance. And when I play with height, my percentage of getting them in is way higher, right? I want you to notice, look how high I can hit this ball and it's still going to go in back at the baseline. That would be a bad bounce for my opponent. Do not neglect height. Hit the ball cross court, play with height, and you will be able to win more points. Now, you want a bonus tip? You guys want a bonus tip? Tip number 5. Tip number 5, let's think about it. I didn't plan a tip number 5, but I want you to give you guys some value. Tip number 5. Here we are. Let's do this one, right? I want you to watch the ball longer than you ever have before. Where players go wrong, why they don't have good contact, is because they hit and they try to see wherever the ball goes. If you guys ever seen Nadal play tennis, you watch him, there's this one video of his slow motion backhand. Make sure to check it out on YouTube. When he hits his backhand, watch a slow-mo video. It looks like his eyes are going to literally come out of his socket. If you can keep your eye on the ball for a split second longer, if you can watch the ball, if you can read what numbers on the ball, you actually can't read it, but just think about it, you will be able to have cleaner contact when you hit. So again, if you can start behind the baseline, recover back after your serve, treat your second serves like an approach shot, make sure that you're moving forward, I forget the next one, and again, watch the ball. You guys will be able to win more points instantly and win more matches. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments below. Have a good one, guys. Win more points with these tips, and happy hitting.